What do you think of when somebody mentions racists? Let me guess, you think of a group of people that is organized, violent, and ready to kill. When in reality, they're really just Beavis and Butthead. If you listen to the news or listen to left-wingers, they like to hype up that racism is still around and it's prominent today. Actually, they'll have you believe that most Trump supporters are racist and they're organized and they're violent. When in reality, racism isn't coming back. Racism is very, very rare. It has gone away almost completely. And the little bit of racism that does exist is hyped up on the news as if it was prominent and it's everywhere. Why? Because of ratings. The media loves to stir up racial tensions. And why do you think we have so many riots? And don't get me wrong, sometimes, once in a while, these riots are deserved because someone innocent did die. But you know what? They didn't die for the reasons you think. They didn't die because of their skin color. They died over a victimless crime, which shouldn't exist. There's no victim, there's no crime. But they don't riot over that most of the time. They're rioting because they think that cops are literally killing people in masses over their skin color, when it's really over victimless crimes that shouldn't be enforced at all. And I would even go as far as to say that the majority of the racists are actually left-wingers and social justice warriors.
There's a certain phrase that saltines like to tell me whenever you hate yourselves for not being the gods that we are. The gods that we are.
Look, I know you think you're part of some super race, but I need to tell you something. You need to stop judging people based off of what color skin they have. You need to start judging people based off of how they act as an individual. You should be colorblind. And don't get me started on Black Lives Matter, an organization that says your life only matters if you happen to be born with the right skin color. Lefties are also bringing something very racist into society called affirmative action. For example, let's say you're white and you take a test right next to a black guy taking the same exact test. You guys have the same answers. Guess who the school gave a higher score? The black guy. Why? Because he has the right skin color. Yes, you heard right. Black people score automatically higher on some tests just because they're black. That sounds like an unfair advantage to me. And I'd even go as far as to say that is racist. Also, jobs and the government are starting to hire people based off their skin color alone and not whether or not they're right for the job. Giving somebody a job based off their skin color alone, to me, sounds pretty fucking racist. We all know racism in the past was worse than it is today. We had things like black water fountains, black bathrooms. And what does the left do? They want to bring it back, but this time call it safe spaces. So let me ask you a question. Which racists are more harmful? The racists on the right, who are basically just Beavis and Butthead? People, you know, who discriminate, but they don't affect law. So overall, they're harmless. Or are the people on the left more harmful? People who do discriminate and people who do want that discrimination reflected in law. Yes, they both can be racist, but at least the right doesn't use the gun of government to force their opinions and racism onto you, whereas the left does. Okay, boys and girls and attack helicopters, we've reached the end of the video. Now it's time for you to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Also, go to the link in the description box and donate and help support the show. Catch you on the next episode.